Good morning. I'm your housekeeper. My name is Lynn Walker, and that's why I'm wearing this apron. There are, however, a number of other helpers scattered around, and so if you're lost or need directions or instructions or advice, just look for somebody wearing an apron. Welcome, everybody. It's so wonderful to see so many familiar faces and so many faces I don't know. Every year I think the Garden History Conference is like a family reunion. But this year, there's a much greater chance I'm actually related to some of you because there are New Zealanders here, which is just wonderful, and I get a hot flush thinking about it. So thank you to the New Zealanders who have been so helpful and helping us organise this conference. As you can imagine, doing something across an expanse of water, even if it's just a little ditch, can be quite challenging. So thank you to those people who have really helped us. Now, I'm just a couple of things before we start. Some of you have been here for some time, you already know why Crowded House wrote the song 4 Seasons in One Day. Don't take the lovely day we've got today for granted. It could change in a whisker, as we've already discovered. So that's the first thing I need to say to you. Please bring layers. The second thing that a number of people say to me is, I didn't actually get around to checking the bottom of my conference bag before I got home. So I'd just like to point a couple of things out to you, if I may. Because you're in a very different place, we've given you a number of maps, or MIPs, as we say in New Zealand. So the first one is actually in the back of your Wellington guide, and it's a little beauty. It's a really good map. So don't lose that one, because that's to help you find your way around. And also, this very luscious woman is actually also a map. So when you unfold her, you'll find that there's all sorts of interesting directions in there for you. But the most important map is of Te Papa, which I'm hoping that you're enjoying as a venue, because we think it's extraordinary. It is, however, large and complex, and that is why you need this map, most of all. And it's where the toilets are has been highlighted. There are several things that have been highlighted. Please use it. For the next day and a half, we'll be here for the lectures, and straight across on the other side of the escalator, the icon room, where many of you registered this morning, that's where we'll be having our morning teas and our lunches and our afternoon teas. The dinner is on a different level, but I'll talk to you about that tomorrow. Unlike other conferences, we don't actually have any stalls with merchandise for sale as we normally do, principally because the Te Papa gift shop is just fabulous. So we didn't think we needed to try and compete with that, and I'm sure you'll enjoy looking through it. It's got a huge range of gifts. Also, but what we do have are several books for sale, again in the icon room where we're going to go back for morning tea. By two of our speakers. Gillian Dean has written a wonderful book about the garden that she and her husband have created. And James Beattie who's going to be talking about Chinese gardening, has his books for sale as well. So they're across in the icon. Okay, I think, lunchtime, if you're wanting to wander around the garden across, you can see from the icon room, there's a wonderful garden to walk through. If you go down to the ground floor and out through it, it's a wonderful thing to do. And of course, there's the gift shop. So, one last thing. New Zealand, being the geographic nature that it is, tends to have winding roads quite a lot. So if you have a travel problem, I suggest you get your medication now, because when we start visiting the gardens, particularly on Sunday, it can be challenging. Thank you all for coming. We now take great pleasure in introducing our first session chair, also one of the co-conveners for this conference, John Mora.